Good morning. So here I have my new radio that I'm building. I was going to build this one out, and I like that one a lot, but it's so big I have to figure out exactly what I want to do with it, and there's going to have to be a lot that's going to go into it to make it worthwhile. And for right now, I think for the sake of doing sessions and going on live feeds, investigations, that this one is going to suit my needs really nicely. It's thin, it's a little tall, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you a quick process here of what I'm doing to build this out, try and document this one a little bit. There's two of the pedals that I'm going to put in it. No, you don't know what they are. One more is on its way. I took them apart and I painted them, and then I scratched them up, distressed them. Sorry. And the same thing with this. I've got a process here. I didn't stain this one. I've been staining them in the past. What I did here is I used some chalkboard paint. And the chalkboard paint is really awesome because it has no sheen. It's like matte, only better, because it doesn't feel like paint. It works like stain in the way that it just goes into the fabric, because that radio was this, same fabric. And instead of peeling it off and sanding it, I just went ahead and I spray painted it with the chalk paint. I let it dry for a day. I came back with some fine sandpaper, and then I just roughed it up to give it that old distressed look. And it doesn't smell like the oils. You know, if you stain them, they smell for quite a while. And no smell, no chalky feeling. Nothing comes off on your hands. It just feels like it was made to be that way. And then what I'm going to do here, I was going to put my lights up here, but then I decided on something else. And what I'm going to do here is put my pedals in. Oops, maybe that one won't work anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pedals in. The other one will go on the other side. Sorry, this is one-handed, like so. And the other one will fill in the gap on the other side. And then I have got to find a place for the amp. I don't know what I'm going to do with the amp yet. And we'll get a nice 5-inch speaker in here, and we'll get a nice 5-inch speaker in there, and a couple lights back there. I'll Bluetooth this one. I don't normally do that, but I will for this one. And we'll put the back on it, and it will be complete. I'll put a scanning Jensen or a COS up in here, and we'll just run the wires down. Run the wires down to the speaker so that I can do a scanning radio if needed. And that's it. Shouldn't take me long. All the parts are pretty much here except for my other pedal, and I ordered that 3 days ago. So now we're going to get into the other room and we're going to do an echo box session. This is Kevin's fault. I've got the itch now. Okay, I've got the echo box running through the new radio that I'm putting up for sale. And I'm using the System 2.0 echo box. It's the older one. I don't know if I dare upgrade it because I like this one so much. I'm not using the echo in the amp itself, but I am using the echo coming from the back of the radio that is a pedal. Okay, there's no reverb tanks in here, there's no springs in here, it's not gonna make the noise like a traditional amplifier if you hit it. So we don't use echo box in here usually. I use echo box out on investigations a lot. In here, I don't think that I've ever used it. But I know how well it works, and I don't know why I don't use it more often. I guess it's just because, you know, Jasper and Lewis have said that they like the Matrix app. And I hear them well through it, and I know the frequency of which one, of who uses what. They don't share the same frequency. So, are any of my spirits in the shop here with me today? If so, can you please tell me your name, because I'm not hearing it the same. Was that Lewis? That's right. Okay. Awesome. Hi, Lewis. How are you today? You know, a few weeks ago, I was talking with Chelsea Gill, and she told me about a couple other guides that were with me. Other than Carol. Now, I know you guys have met Carol. Is that correct? You know Carol? Yeah. Okay, another guide that is with me is Cindy. Have you ever met Cindy? And I was wondering if maybe my other two guides could come out, because there is another guide who is my great uncle. And you guys might like him because he's Italian, full-blooded Italian. But I don't know his name. If you know his name, or if he is here and he can come through, can you please tell me your name? Were you a brother to my grandpa Dominic? That part of him, what? Cindy, I don't believe Cindy was a relative of mine. Cindy may have been assigned. And I just want to say it's nice to meet you both. I never know when to stop talking though with this, because it's constantly going and the words just flow out of it. My mother, she said that it may be Sam or it may be Vincent. Is she correct? I'd like to be able to call you by your name when I speak to you or need you or call upon you. I don't want to just call you my great uncle. Now, have I ever met you? I thought I heard North Collins, and if that is what you just said, that's fucking incredible, because that's where they lived, and that is about an hour from Buffalo, the other side of Buffalo. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Well, I swear a lot. I shouldn't say I'm sorry. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to let you go now. I've got to get to work. I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't hear everything in real time. I've got to go back and listen to most of this. Lewis, thank you for coming through. I heard you yesterday, George. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you. George, if you're here, if you're outside, I did hear you on the playback. I wish I could hear more of this in real time so I could talk to you guys a little more. Maybe we'll use this a little more often too if you guys are liking it. Better catch my... See, I hear bits, but I never hear that final word or that word in between so that I can make out the sentence. But, you know, maybe over time. And there's the phone. It's coming through the... Alright, everybody. Let me shut this down for a minute. Okay, as you can see, we've got the LED lights in there, sound activated. They look cool. When you're using a static radio, of course, that static just pins it, so it really hardly ever moves. That's just the way it is. I'm going to show you, I mean, you can play any app through this that you want, so I'm not going to go and put the matrix through it or anything else. You can go back and look at the last build I did of this radio, which is almost identical, with the one exception, and that is that I've got an AM/FM scanning radio inside of it instead of just an AM radio. And to access the AM/FM radio, excuse me, it's on its own power source because this battery was a different battery than what I have been using. I tried to save 20 bucks and I won't do that again. Only has the 12 volt side and the USB. The other battery has the 12 volt, a 9 volt, and the USB. It's a bigger battery, it charges faster, and it lasts longer. This one does last long, but not as long as the other one, and I have to go through a few other hoops to get the 9 volt with step downs, where with the other battery it's just plug and play and you're all set to go. But another note, if you use that other battery, if you go to my build and you use that battery on your 9 volt side, you have to cut the cord because it's some Chinese thing where the polarity is reversed. So you have to cut every 9 volt cord and reverse the polarity. So whatever you plug in after you cut that cord, your ground is now your hot is your ground. Otherwise you won't get anything. It won't work and you'll get pissed off and you'll wonder why. So you'll have to do that. So this is the power pack for the Sony radio. You turn it on. I don't know if I already turned it on, so I'm just gonna think that it is. Let me do this here. Now to engage it, it's the same way. You hit it once and then you hit it again all the way in to engage it. This is your selector for your AM, your FM, and your weather band, and this is to start the scan. Everybody knows I have no reception in here, so you probably won't hear anything. If you do, it'll be very, very little. Alright, I didn't turn it on, so let's go back on the other side of it. So it defaults to AM. As you can see, these are pegged. And then we start the scan. My pedal is already on, so all I have to do is reach back here and add effect if I want to. And you can get rid of a lot of static with that pedal. There's no noise cutter on here. There wasn't a noise cutter on the last one either. But by turning the effect up, it cuts probably 20% of that static out, or at least deadens it. But with every decision you make, there is a repercussion. By adding too much effect, you're cutting down on what you hear. So things might get a little drifty, you know, and you won't hear those words as clear. So it's a good idea to cut back on it a little bit. Okay, we're not going to get anything out of this shop. I mean, I can hear it in there. There's probably 2 or 3 stations that will come through, but you hear that noise. It's fluorescent lights. It's the power. It's all sorts of stuff that's going on in here. It's my big printer. It's my T-shirt printer. There's so much interference here. It's not even funny. So I just want to show you how to cycle through the stations. This stops your scan. This is the first thing you have to do. This changes your channel. So now I am an FM. FM1, FM2, and your weather band. If you get anything off the weather band, God bless you, because it's only 7 channels and I've never heard anybody talk about the weather. So I'm going to default back to AM. I'm back on FM, and it is now scanning. Okay. There's FM2. Make sure the switch is down. It's always got to be down when you start your scan. So now we're scanning FM. I won't get anything, you guys. Can anybody say hello to me? Can you squeeze out a hello? No, I didn't think so. That's okay. Okay, and that's it. Turn it off. You don't have to do anything to go back into amp mode. All you have to do is plug something into the side. I've got your 3.5mm jack is on the side. And when you shut everything down, it's a switch and a switch. That's it. Okay? I will not be making any more of these, ever. You know, this is it. I do have another shell that is kind of like another one of those Geo boxes, but it's a little different. They all kind of look the same unless you get something like I was showing you. I mean, these old radios, you know, there were only about 4 big players, you know, in the antique radio world. That's your Emersons, your Philcos, your GEs, and there might be another one in there. I just can't think of it right now. But, you know, they all kind of look a little bit the same. But have fun with it. Build your own if you can. I will always build them, just, you know, not as frequent. I've got a lot of little cigar boxes that I bought at a flea market. And I'm probably going to go back to building some of those. I like doing those. They're easy, they're compact, and they sound great. Go ahead on to Kevin's channel, the one that I made for him. That thing sounds awesome. He's got a nice little cigar box amp, and he uses it pretty much on all of his videos now. I think that thing sounds amazing, and that's partially due to the pedal that he has. That one on the right with the reverse, that's a nice pedal, but you could pay up to $80 for that thing. And I tend to try to stay around that $30, $35 mark when I make them, just so I can put them out there and make them affordable for people. You know, and it's got to be affordable for me to make also. I can't just sit on the money while I'm building these and then wait to sell it, because it could take over a month before I even get it up for sale. In this case, a few months. But that's it, you guys. I'm going to end the session now. Thank you, my spirit guides, for coming through. If you did, I have a feeling that you did. And I'm going to go back and listen to that, and this video will go up hopefully tonight or tomorrow. Goodbye.